All right, now I think we got it. So we are back. Hopefully everything is working. Yes, yes, yes. All right, well, I'm hoping that all this is working right. Um, Double checking with my buddy, make sure he's seeing my screen. I'll jump on my channel on my phone. This is much more difficult. Um, so it says he's watching, but on my phone I'm not seeing what I'm doing here. Oh, okay, cool. So hopefully he can see um, my demi plane then. All right. Well, take it on faith. So, so I'm at demi plane. You can see my demi plane page here. This is where I do everything. Um, and like I've said before, I put a ton into demi plane. It's one of my favorite things. Um, so Marvel. I love the Marvel multiverse role playing game. It is a lot of fun. Um, and I am I am enjoying running it. I run it weekly generally, but Doc Fortune suggested I do a Marvel character creation. So I got a little bit of time before I got to go run some karaoke with some friends. So here we are back at the character creation. Now these are all the games they have. Um, there is a bunch. Like I said, I'd like to try Scion one day. Um, if you've watched or read American Gods, you'll recognize um, you'll recognize that. But let's get rid of that. Close that. No, don't close everything, you silly thing. All right. Well, back to the demi-plane major. All right. Anyways, that's what happens when you hit the wrong thing in your life. So, but if you've seen American Gods or read the book, Scion is very much that. But today we are going to work on Marvel. So I will click Marvel. You can see I've got stuff down here for Marvel. Some of these are characters that are in the game I'm currently running. Some are characters I've messed around with and just played around with to create. But we'll start from scratch, as they say. Um, so again, like all the Nexuses on Demiplane, it um, walks you step by step through. I can grab a character if I want. Like if I want Absorbing Man, I can just grab him, and it brings up the character sheet. And I'll explain some of these stats as I go. This is a really quick, straightforward system. It uses 3d6, and the best roll you can get is a 616. Hence the mainline Marvel Universe 616. So if you get a 616, it does crazy things damage wise, all that. But anytime you roll the dice, you're like if I'm attacking somebody with a melee weapon, if I'm hitting Absorbing Man, I've got to beat a 16 on on the attack. So I would roll my 60 my 3d6, and then add my modifier. And then if I hit, then my damage is whatever I roll on the Marvel die. So if you play this on a tabletop, you're going to need one die that's different than the other 66s. But my damage is simply going to be whatever that dice rolls times generally your rank plus any other modifiers plus your ability mod. So or your ability score, excuse me. So very quick, very simple. All these tags and things can adjust. Here are some basic powers and stuff, but we'll get into that. We won't use poor Absorbing Man. He's been used enough in life. We'll create our own. So, look out. Here's code name. We'll go with Dravidius because that's the name I've been using since I started playing Vampire. I watched a couple channels, a couple streams from Doc Fortune today, and um, I um, was I was gonna ask him about his experience with Vampire because we've all been playing it forever. I didn't, you know, talk about how he got into it and everything, but then he started talking about it anyway. So, but Dravidius has been a character name I've used ever since I got into Vampire back in high school. So, um, almost all my characters are named Dravidius, which kind of is weird because it kind of colors how I play them as well because I have a mindset for it. But whatever. Um, so the Dravidius' code name, real name is we'll go with Christopher. All right, so your rank is going to determine the number of powers you have, your ability caps, things like that. Um, and there are some great things. If you go down to the expansion rules, there's lots of expansions now. Getting schooled is absolutely a must. What that does is, as I play the game and do things, if I go down here to advancement, as I play the game and do things, I can check off these boxes. And instead of waiting until I hit rank 2 to do all of this, I can do it as I go, as if I'm learning. Your character's learning as they go. So um, I'm at rank 1, but I use my powers to do something. I'm going to put a check mark in my power. Now I can pick another power, and that power can be rank 2 because that's the rank I'm going to. And once I have all these boxes filled up, then I officially go to rank 2, and then the only thing that changes is or are my focus, my health, and my karma level. But by the time I get there, all of my power selections, trait selections, all that's done. And that you could do that all the way up through, I think level 10 is the top level. I might be wrong. It might be less than that. Um, but I'd have to look at a character. It's been a while since I made a character, even though I've been running it for a while. Anyways, so back to getting started. Let's start with rank 1. So I'll select my ability scores, and then over here on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see my ability scores. Now, it tells me I have 5 points remaining. So let's see. Dravidius tends to be a little darker and more magical or whatever. So if I go down here, it says ego measures the character's energy, self-confidence, personal magnetism, force, personality. Doctor Strange has a high ego. It's a big ability for leaders and things like that. Professor X has a high logic. It's used for making checks like inventing, defense against being confused and befuddled, and using telepathic powers. Ego uses magical and elemental powers and is good against psychological trauma, mind control. Vigilance, investigating crime scenes, pretty much any type of perception type thing. It's vigilance, and vigilance is your initiative modifier as well. Resilience kind of speaks for itself. It's your character's health as well. Agility, running, jumping, climbing trees, putting on makeup while you're up there. That's that. And then melee is just beating the shit out of people. So, or stopping them from beating the shit out of you. So we're gonna give Dravidius. Let's see. My ability cap is 4, and you'll see it takes care of my modifiers over there. So we're gonna go there. We're gonna go 1 in resilience, 2 in logic. And that's it. Okay, 10s are average and things, your typical mortal or whatever. So now I'm going to continue. And I went. Let me go back real quick. I just showed you in the expansion rules. These have to be turned on, by the way. But I mean, there's a ton. Sinister plots are great for storytellers. You can basically give plot points to your villains as they do stuff. They get special abilities. Mythic origins. Don't add all speak. That means if you have a mythic origin, you can speak all languages. Headquarters, all this stuff. There are a ton of options. All right, continue. Origins. So, how did you get your powers? What happened to you? And there are several. Alien, Captain Marvel. High tech, that's your Tony Stark. Wow. That's your Tony Stark. Magic, Doctor Strange. Mutants, obviously we all know mutants. Special training, like Hawkeye. Weird science would be Spider-Man. Could be Captain America. Anyways, each of the origins comes with specific packages of traits and tags. It's possible to have more origins. You just have to take a trait that does that. So, and your occupation gives you things as well. criminal, healthcare worker, investigator, and then character data, fill in some additional stuff. So origins, Dravidius is going to be magical, and origin magic. You can go chaos, demonic magic, sorcery. You can take monstrous origins, so like Dampier. I can take monstrous vampire, which if I select this, your character was once alive but was embraced by a vampire. There's actually a vampire game for this, so it's fun in Marvel. Highly suggest V6 if you're going to try vampire now. Anyways, it gives you tags, abilities, and then like anathema, things that hurt you that bypass your sturdy trait if you have that. If I pick vampire, it's going to give me all of these powers right off the bat. Then that's it. So mighty 1, sturdy 2. That means if something attacks me, I reduce their damage modifier. That modifier you saw at the beginning, I reduce that by the sturdy amount. If that reduces that modifier to 0, they do no damage. And that's cool. I like that. You can really quickly look if something has a high sturdy, you're not going to hurt it, and you can move on with your life. So here's the limitation for vampire. Unless you have another origin, you can't choose other powers. So if I pick vampire and I don't take any other origins, then this is what it is. That's all I got. And we got werewolf, mutant. So if I pick mutant, it gives me the hounded, which means people are out to get me, and X gene, which means it caused me to develop powers. And just think of various mutants. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with comics like Mutant, Araki. It's a different type of mutant from Mars after the Krakoa age ended, and stuff. Mutant Krakoa is on here. Externals, that's Apocalypse, Selene. Then you got Mythic, generic, and then you got Mythic, Asgard, Loop, Olympian. So there are tons and tons and tons of stuff. Spirits of Vengeance, symbiotes, symbiote agony, symbiote antivenom. Like, just there are a ton of options. I could sit here all day and do this. But for our purposes, let's just grab, since we're doing Dravidius, we will grab character, some kind of monster. Let's look at this. I don't want to just grab vampire because I want to show you other character stuff. Let's just grab mutant. I almost always just grab mutant. So there's mutant. So then I go to my occupations. And again, I get to pick a ton of occupations. Adventurer, assassin. If I pick it, it'll tell me what I get with it. Streetwise and villainous are common traits or tags. Traits, I get connections and signature attack. That means when I attack with my signature weapon or a particular kind of attack, I get edge. Edge means I can reroll my dice. I can reroll 1 die. If I have double edge, I can reroll 2 dice. Same with trouble. Trouble, though, I have to reroll the highest die in the dice pool. So for Dravidius, we are going to go with, let's see. This is all just kind of on the fly. Big yawn. I've been up since like 3, so it's going to be a long day. We'll go with, let's see. Let's go with investigator just for giggles and yucks. I'm just showing y'all how this works. So character data is where I would put in like height, weight, all the role playing cool stuff. Let's go to traits and tags. All right, so I already have connections, interrogation, and investigation. These are all traits I already have. And traits, can give you, by making ego check, I can call in a contact at the cops, interrogating, things like that. Traits that should give you abilities, but I'm going to still I get to pick a trait. So I could pick abrasive. Punisher would have abrasive. Anathema is some type of weakness you have. So for Superman, it would be kryptonite. For Batman, it would be unpreparedness. Audience, many people follow my work and treat me with respect. Battle ready, beguiling. I like beguiling. Bloodthirsty. My character likes hurting people, even killing them. And so here it says a character with this trait cannot take the heroic tag. So if you don't have the heroic tag, you don't start the game with karma. And karma is a resource that you can use to um, give yourself edge or recover health, things like that. Dravidius is definitely not heroic, so we're going to grab Bloodthirsty. Other characters you might wonder that don't have like heroic tags. Moon Knight, I don't think has a heroic tag. Ghost Rider doesn't have the heroic tag. Punisher wouldn't. For DC, characters in DC who wouldn't have the heroic tag would probably be like Constantine. Etrigan, maybe Etrigan doesn't have the heroic tag. Trying to think of other DC characters just off the top of my head. Sinestro would be villainous probably, although in recent years he's kind of waffled. It's been a long time since I've really dug into the Lantern Corps. But anyways, powers and weapons. This is the fun part. So I get to pick powers. I got 5 power points. If I get +1 power points, the fewer power sets. +1 power points minus fewer power sets than my rank. So if I take, let's see, start with basic, and I can grab accuracy, which characters an ace with ranged weapons. So someone like Bullseye would have this. I get +1 to my agility damage multiplier, and I gain +1 to agility checks other than attacks. So it's kind of like getting an ability bump out of the gate for agility. And there are things like that for each trait. Hulk has anger. You'll see some of them have prerequisites like Mighty 3 and Rank 4. I have to have those. Additional limbs is cool. One of my players in my Saturday game has additional limbs, and they help a lot for him. Grants him an edge in melee attack, so he just gets to roll an extra die essentially. Anyways, let's select. Go to our power sets. So elemental control is pretty much just that, and there's all kind of elements from air to corrosiveness to acid. I mean, pick whatever it is. You can, if you took this, if you divorced this system out of Marvel, you could use this system, not even almost, you could use this system to run any kind of game you want, just because of the breadth and interpretive freedom you have with the power sets. It's very flexible system, even outside of Marvel. Let's see here. Narrative powers. Those are cool. This is something worth talking about. So if I grab a narrative power, they work a little differently because they work within the story. So like someone like Darwin from the X-Men, whose narrative power is instant evolution, which they have here, which means his power does whatever it needs to do to keep him alive. I have this on here. I don't know why I don't have that unlocked on here, but I own all the stuff. I may just need to sync up with my my account some. But anyways, so the way that would work in the story would be that whatever happens to my character, my powers react with whatever I need to have it do to survive. I become fireproof. I grow gills. I don't need oxygen. Whatever it is. We're not going to select that one though. Let's go with. I like reality manipulation. That's a cool one. Oh my gosh, I don't know why it's not showing me all this stuff. All right, we'll grab a quick one because let's just grab magic. Magic, complex power set, but it's okay. Chaos magic is great because with chaos magic you could duplicate almost any power in the game, depending on what you're doing. So, but we're gonna grab magic just cause. And in the books and online you could see the skill trees, and that is very helpful. So let's see here. Magic. Select magic. So I've selected magic, and that is that. Now, with it, I can go in and select specific powers within magic. Things that if you've ever read a Doctor Strange comic, you've read this stuff. If you've seen any Marvel movie with Doctor Strange, you've seen this stuff. But right now, I just have basic magic. Now, if I um, rank up or hit the check mark, I can pick more stuff. But just basic magic is what I got. And then I go to my character sheet. And making a rank 1 character is really kind of quick. Um, so there's my powers and actions. I have magic as a power, but I don't have anything for it. So let's just level up. Let's rank him up. Go to character builder. And we will rank Dravidius up to protector. Okay? And then that means I've got 5 more points. Okay, so let's go more ego. Let's go a little agility. So we got a little bit of agility there, a little vigilance. Put another one in vigilance. There we go. He's definitely not going to be melee. All right, next. So none of this is going to change. I can grab another trait if I want. So let's grab educator. And we'll grab, we don't need another origin. Oh, no, my bad. I did the wrong thing there. He doesn't need another occupation. Traits and tags. There we go. So, grab a trait. My bad, folks. I'm just kind of doing this off the spot, off the cuff. But he's gonna be abrasive. He's very, harsh with people. Powers and weapons. All right, now I've got 9 power points. Okay, so I've ranked 2, 9 power points. So if you're running this or you're playing this and you pick something like magic, just know that it's not going to really turn on until you get to rank 2. I started my group out at rank 1 because I knew I was going to use the schooling advancement track. Just like in the new Vampire, like you can use XP, but improvements work much better, I think. And it's the same with this. I don't really like experience points as a measure of growth for your character. I'd much rather it be something like in role play or that makes sense story wise. So schooling advancements, improvements. I think Daggerheart has advancements like that as well. I have to go double check. But anyways, let's go back to magic. We're gonna select magic. And now you can see I can select things like Astral Form, Brain Drain, this is Sorceress, so that's a different kind of magic, so I don't have access to that right now. Hellfire Chains, that's Hellfire. And I have to have the Cursed condition or trait. So let's see here. What can we pick? Let's go with Sense Supernatural. I like that. And see, it takes down my points. Now I didn't go over this a minute ago, but I didn't have enough points. I can give myself extra ability points if I take down my power points. And same with traits. If there are traits I want to grab, I can do that here. I can grab another trait. So if I did that and then I went and grabbed Astral Form, Brain Drain. What else we got? That's going to be it. So I could go over here, back to the power set, go back to magic and grab sorcery. Or let's do, since I talked about chaos, grab chaos. And then go back to the power set. Okay. And now there's chaotic, rank 2, let's see. Magic chaos. Go to the right shenanigans here. And I gotta get the chaotic trait. So we'll go back to our traits. See if it's in here. It's been a while since I've made a character for this, like I said. We'll go back to the biography just to show you how this is going to work. Magic chaos. There we go. There we go. That's going to work. I believe in us. There we go. Jinx. So you give somebody trouble on their attack. Um, a great one is this right here, I believe. Yeah, simulate another power with my magic. Character casts a hex that allows them to use any other power that they have rank to use, even if they would not normally meet the power's other prerequisites. I have to pay focus, which is like your mental energy or power, +5 um, for my own focus. So if the power costs focus, I have to pay that plus mine. If the duration of power used is permanent, it is concentration for me. So I can give myself Mighty 3 or 33, whatever I want to do. I will grab that. And what do I got left? One. Let's take the traits down. So I got 2 more left. And let's go. Let's see. That's rank 3. I'm not rank 3. Since Supernatural we got. Don't need that. Hex Bolt, I need to be. Yep, let's grab Hex Bolt. And Hex Bolt, I hurl a Hex Bolt at my foes, and I fire a Hex Bolt at my foes and make an ego check against the target's agility defense. On a success, the attack does regular damage. On a fantastic success, and that is when I roll a 1 on the marble die. Even if I don't get like the super fantastic 616 result. As long as I roll the marble, that 1 on the marble die, it's a fantastic success. And it does double damage and causes the target trouble for a round. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And we'll give myself an extra power point. That's enough. Or an extra ability point. So let's go back up. And we'll knock out our ability points here. Because I got 3 points to spend. So we're going to put it in ego. Because I always want to make sure my ego is high. Like it is in real life. Logic is always good as well. All right. So that's it for that. Then I'll go to my character sheet. And now, rank 2, my health is 30, my focus is 60. Don't be deceived, as they say in theology. This looks kind of high. That looks like you have a lot, but it goes really fast. Because I have no damage reduction. I have no sturdy or anything like that. I could buy the Shield of Seraphim, and that would give me like 20 points of damage reduction. And if something does more than that, it shatters the shield, but it still stops all the damage. But then that shield is gone. You can get mental damage reduction. My speed, my run. This game works great on a, like, if you're thinking D&D, like a battle map. I've ran it Theater of the Mind, and you can do it that way too. My game that I run weekly is on Roll20, so I have maps of city locations and things like that. My initiative modifier is right here. If I wanted to roll initiative, I just click this, and it rolls it right over here down on the left. So even if I was playing this in Discord and I didn't have Roll20, people could still roll on their screen and tell me what they get. And you see my initiative ability is 2, and I got a result of 14. Now we'll see the difference. Over here, my powers are all here now. Remember, when I was rank 1, I didn't have that. You can always lower your die right there. So let's say I want to hex bolt somebody. I can just go over here, and you'll see where it says 616. Click it, and it rolls it. And then, if somebody has damage reduction, like sturdy, I can put that in down here, the damage reduction. But if they don't, I can just hit roll my damage, and it's going to roll, and that marble die times 2 plus 5, that's all my damage right there, 34 damage, because I got a fantastic success on the marble die. So it doubled that damage, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy to run. If I did brain drain, there I go. And then, like, so right now it's showing you my initiative roll that I had rolled. But when I hit, let's put damage reduction on that. Damage reduction 1. There you go, roll. And there's my brain drain roll. So 4 And then it does all the stuff for you here. I'm not going to math it out for you. But the result is a 16. 16 to hit on Brain Drain against something's logic. And I did 9 damage if I hit. So, and I can always, turn on concentration there. So I'm concentrating on this. It costs 5 focus. I go up here and take the focus down or whatever. Another cool thing I like about Demiplane in this is that I can see all my reactions and actions on the side over here. So my standard, my reactions, there's my movement. This can get great with reactions, especially if you have the teleport action. One of my players is always blinking whenever he gets attacked. So he'll get attacked and use his reaction to blink out of range, and then the attack misses. Very Nightcrawlery. If you have combat reflexes, you get more than one reaction. So that's pretty much it. Marvel is really quite simple as far as just character creation. If you are going to play it tabletop, I highly suggest if you have the books to page number on your character sheet where your powers are, because it just lets you quickly get to them if you need to. If you are using your tablet or a laptop, or like me, if I'm running it at home, big yawn. If I'm running it at home, I can use I use Demiplane for that. So just cause I really enjoy Demiplane. So, anyways, that's pretty much it. There isn't a whole lot to it. It's just very, you can add conditions. I can go over here and select it like I'm a blaze, and then it'll add that condition, so I take damage every turn. I can switch my tags around here so you can see, like Bloodthirsty has a role, Connections has a role. I can add equipment, weapons, vehicles, whatever. I can do my biography, my journal for notes, all that stuff. It's a fun game. I can always go up here and go to my game rules, check things out. I can view all, and the characters are. I'll show you all the characters real quick, because just because it's cool to see characters. Oh, it's not there. There we go. So if we go back over here to Marble. No, let's do it this way. We'll go to their. Oh, here's Starfinder 2, Daggerheart. Some of these I've never played. Traveler, I think, is a remake of a much older sci-fi game. Cyberpunk Red, Pathfinder Tekken Edition. I'll go to Marvel. Vampire 5th Edition. I've sunk a ton of money into that shit. So, let's go to Hero Profiles. Makes me wonder if I'm not signed in to Demiplane. It's not showing all my X-Men stuff and all my expansions, but we'll see. All right, so yeah, plenty of character stuff. Generally up to date with the latest Marvel lore for the most part. But I can, let's find one of my favorites here. Black Ant's cool. I like Black Ant. Let's look at Black Knight. I like Black Knight. Very underrated character. He's just cool. He's just nifty. I like him. View him. Come on, interwebs. All right, so you get a little blurb, and then I go to his character sheet. Now I can grab this and use it as a character in a game as well. Remember at the beginning of character creation, I could pick an existing character. If I like Black Knight, man, grab him and play him. But you see, he's rank 4, so he has 90 health. He's got damage reduction 1, so that helps with the damage, and then 120 focus. So he's got melee, agility, all that. Over here is traits. He has a magic item, resilience. That means his powers and stuff depend on a magic item that he has. If you don't know, that's the ebony blade that he carries, a cursed weapon given to him by Merlin. So there's the ebony blade. You can build your own legendary weapon. You can grab a legendary weapon owned by an actual character. But if I want to see more, I'll click that. and it will show me more in just a second, I hope. Everything is so slow today. Ridiculous. Click to see more. Demiplane internets are just not flying. Bad day to do a stream, I guess. All right, so the blade gives him the following powers. Power slider is a cool one. If he gets a fantastic success on an attack with this weapon and causes bleeding, his powers are boosted. They go up a rank, basically. Um, anyways, that's Black Knight. He's unkillable. He can't be killed as long as he's got the ebony blade. Um, here's his weapon modifiers, all that stuff. Iconic items have restrictions. His are carried, menacing, and unkillable power usable only by descendants of King Arthur. So if somebody else picks it up and they're not, they don't get that power. And when you build a legendary weapon, it has a power value, and that's basically where you're getting your powers from. And then down here's a full biography of him. So um, yeah, it's a great game. I've had a lot of fun running it. Like I said, you could take it out of Marvel paradigm and just use this system to run pretty much anything you wanted to. It reminds me a little bit of Powered by the Apocalypse stuff and Urban Shadows. Daggerheart is a little bit more locked into the fantasy trope. And I'm kind of with Doc Fortune. I'm high fantasy stuff is kind of my least favorite genre to play. I say that I'm currently in a D&D game, but that's because it's what one of the storytellers at my table is running, and he's doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. Blind Envy does a fabulous job running D&D. It's probably one of the best D&D games I've ever gotten to play in. So I'm having a great time. It's fun. I don't not like the game. It's just my least favorite genre of TTRPG. Um, Absolutely, hands down, my favorite is World of Darkness. Anything World of Darkness, I don't really care. Um, Vampire is where I started and where most people who play World of Darkness started. So naturally, I have like Doc Fortune, I've got more hours in Vampire than probably anything else I've ever done. But with V6 coming out, I'm sure that's only going to increase. In fact, I'm running V6 tomorrow night. We're really kicking off our Chicago by Night Chronicle. So, and me and Blind Envy and I are going to bounce back and forth. Next week they'll run D&D again, and the week after we'll do Vampire, and then the week after we'll just bounce back and forth. You get it. You're smart people, I hope. But I'm really looking forward to the new Mage Ascension coming out. I like Mage a lot. Like Wraith. I also like Exalted. If I'm gonna play high fantasy now, I tend to want to play Exalted or Exalted Essence, just because I like just the over the top stuff that the various exalts do and the world that it's in and all that. So, it's given the choice of playing fantasy, I would choose Exalted before most anything else. Daggerheart's a lot of fun. I can't. What time is it? 3:39. All right, cool. I got a little bit of time. Let me show you Daggerheart a little bit, just cause. I really like Daggerheart. It's a good system, and it's got an expansion coming out. Uh, it it's unique in its character creation. Um, so let's. I got so many characters. Daggerheart. Here we go. Uh, and with like I said, with any of the nexuses, it gives you everything you need over here. Um, I'm not going to worry about a name right now, but let me show you some of the classes. So when you pick a class in Daggerheart, um, let me go up here real quick and enable all this so you can see all the classes. All right, I'm not going to select a campaign frame right now just because I just want you to see some of the character creation. So, let's see. We'll go down here to the witch. Well, no, we'll go wizard because there's something unique with Daggerheart, with wizards. So here's your features. They all get prestidigitation, so they can do these minor magical effects. Strange patterns. I could choose. Ooh, it's going crazy. I could choose a number between 1 and 12 when I roll that number on the duality dice. So with Daggerheart, you're rolling 2d12. Hope and fear. And whichever one comes up higher on your roll, that's the result. So if you roll your dice and you succeed, but the higher value was on the fear die, then you succeeded with fear, and that has an effect. And then if you succeed or fail with the hope dice, then you succeed or fail with hope, and that has an effect. So little little differences, little things that make the game unique. So, but we're gonna select wizard real quick because I want you. I choose a subclass. So I grab School of Knowledge or School of War, so Battle Mage type thing, or like your up here, the School of Knowledge is your typical wizard. So I'm gonna select that, and I'm gonna grab an additional domain card. Domain cards are basically your spells and your abilities. Cool thing with wizards, wow, with wizards is your domain card for wizards have multiple powers on them. So I've got Power Push, Tala's Armor. I spend a hope and give a target I can touch +1 bonus to their armor score. And Ice Spike, I make a spell casting roll and it does all kinds of stuff. So I get an extra one of these as a wizard. So let's just grab this one, just for giggles and yucks. We're going to grab that one. And then I got my traits. I highly suggest if you're just starting this, use the suggested traits. Grab my weapon. It'll suggest. See, there, it'll give me suggested. We'll grab that. And then let's see, I'll go to my domain cards because I still get to select 2 for my class. Ooh. So remember, I got that one for free that had 3 abilities on it. Now, I'm going to grab, look at this one. Bolt Beacon. This is just a spell. I can grab that. I can make a spell on a success. A bolt of shimmering light toward my enemies, dealing magic damage. Or I can grab this Book of Iliat, and this has 3 powers on it: Slumber, make them go to sleep; Arcane Barrage, think of that as like Magic Missile; and Telepathy. Let's grab that. That sounds cool. And I get to have one more. I could grab Mending Touch, which I wouldn't because I'm a wizard and I don't care about other people. Reassurance, no thank you. We'll grab this one. This one has Wild Flame. Wild! Make a spellcast roll. And against up to 3 adversaries within melee range. Daggerheart uses range bands instead of like squares or whatever. You got, I think it's close, very close melee or close, and then medium and far, something like that. But anywho, three more abilities right there: Magic Hand and Mysterious Mist. We'll grab that too. Now let's just let me just do this real quick too. I'll take a minor health potion. Take a book I'm trying to translate. This is all cool because it's stuff that gives you role playing opportunities. And then decide what you carry your spells in a book. A book. There we go. Choose my starting armor. Guess what? Wizards can have armor in this. I'm gonna grab leather armor. There we go. And now I'm gonna look at my character sheet. And there we go. Cool character sheet. I really like all. I haven't seen a character sheet on Demiplane that I don't like. They're just really cool looking. So there's my Codex and Splendor. That's the domain cards I could choose from. HP, stuff like that. But when I go to my effects and features, I've got just a bunch of powers and stuff that I can use. That's just really neat. I really like Daggerheart's wizardy stuff and character creation stuff. Here's your hope and your fear. If I go to roll this, I can give myself advantage or disadvantage. And I'm going to roll. And it says with hope, and it even colors it with hope. So the result of my 2d12 roll is 17 for that spellcasting roll, and it's with hope. And when you roll with hope, good things happen. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If I click this, it'll tell me what hope does. My weapons, hit points, all that. So I wasn't intending on doing 2 quick character builds today, but it just worked out because I really like showing off Daggerheart stuff. I think it's a great system, and I think they're currently running a live play because the expansion's coming out with the Witch and the some new backgrounds and things like that. So, but here's Starfinder 2. I don't own any of the Starfinder 2 second edition stuff. I would play Starfinder, um, but it is, it's space fantasy, which is cool. I just have never been into it as much. But here's, if I go back to view all games. I haven't looked at the Scion one yet. There's Scion. And there's that. So I can build a Scion, and it just takes me through everything. I can choose what type of divinity I'm from. I can, go to my library. Here's all the books. I don't own any Scion stuff, so um, it'd be killer if they put Exalted on here, but that is not going to happen. That system is just too expansive. They have the Alien role playing game DC-20, which is kind of like some type of D&D clone. Um, they've got Hunter the Reckoning on here, but it's not the full like uh, character tools. Like that's probably not coming anymore. Hunter though, I can't recommend it enough. Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition is probably the best game out of the 5th edition stuff. Even better than Vampire. It's just a great game that does a great job of making your human feel human and in trouble when they're dealing with monsters, and also just the mechanics of Hunter are great. If you own the physical books like I do, the layout of the books is fabulous. Can't say enough good things about Hunter. I wish they'd have gotten to this more, but um, demand for Vampire was higher. Marvel Pathfinder Daggerheart was huge. And now we've got, the World of Darkness. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope this has been helpful to you. As always, I have to go run some karaoke here in just a little bit and have myself a nice, tasty, um, THC drink because they are lovely and they make me happy. So, I hope you all enjoy your Friday night. Who knows? If I get home and I have a crazy wild hair in me, I may stream some Baldur's Gate or something and just chat while I'm playing. But we'll see. All right, guys. I love you all. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button and see you all.